Okay, welcome everybody. This TCU week is always a fun week. I think there's a little extra incentive in this game, just obviously based on the fact that we both came into the league at the same time 5 years ago. You look back at the games that have been played, typically very competitive, a lot of fun. Got a lot of respect for each other, I think, just based on the fact that I had a lot of success outside the Big 12. And then once we've been in the Big 12, I've had some pretty competitive games. 4 years ago, overtime game. 3 years ago, overtime game. 2 years ago here on Mountaineer Field, Melbourne played really good, just didn't get it done. And they won on the last second field goal. They went on to dominate in a New Year's Day game that year. They're pretty good. Last year I thought they were excellent as well. We didn't play very good. It was that game 4, that 4-game stretch that nobody really wants to talk about anymore. But didn't play very good last year, so I know our kids are going to be excited to be able to get back out there to play these guys, because typically we've always been a pretty hard-fought game. Got a lot of respect for their program. They've done things right. Gary's widely known as one of the best defensive coaches out there. We all know that. Pretty much say the same thing as from a head coach perspective. Has done just wonders for our profession. Does a great job. Defensively, they look the same as they always have. Their front is good. Pretty much the same guys we played last year. Their linebackers are excellent. The Howard kid, 32, is all over the place. 30, the Johnson kid's all over the place. Those guys run, cover ground, make tackles. Their D-line has always been extremely disciplined. They got 40 back from the McFarland guy that was the defensive MVP in that Ole Miss game in the Peach Bowl. Didn't play last year. He's back, giving them a spark. 94 Caraway is long and gets to the quarterback and is tough to deal with. So that front's really good. Same front plus a guy. So we got our work cut out for us there. But they look good. They don't look any different than they've looked to me. We've been going against Gary's defenses for a long time. He's been there doing the same stuff for a long time. It's one of the things that we're starting to reap the benefits from is continuity. Defensively, we're going into the 3rd year of the scheme, and got a lot of guys that understand what to do. That's what TCU's been doing for years and years and years. As long as Gary's been there, he's been pretty sharp with what they've done defensively. Offensively, it's interesting to see how they've been replacing some of their guys. It kind of hits home a little bit because this is what we've done with our football team, but they got a lot of transfers in there. They got grad transfers, they got junior college transfers, they've got 4-year transfers. Starts with Kenny Hill, transfer from Texas A&M. We're all familiar with him and what he did at A&M, and transfers into TCU. Sits a year. He's a Fort Worth kid. Played at South Lake Carroll, one of the most widely recognized high schools in the country. So he's been well coached for a long time. But they got a couple of receivers. They got one from LSU. Doesn't catch a pass at LSU. Comes to TCU, and all of a sudden he's all world. So they're utilizing transfers well. The Williams kid, number 2, the receiver, played at a junior college originally out of Tallahassee. Can run. He's long. Looks great. Got a Michigan transfer in at running back. A couple other guys as well. So. Was extremely good last year on offense. We all know that. We get what they did. Boykin was a pain in our side for 4 years. He's doing good in the NFL. A couple of receivers are doing well in the NFL as well. They had an experienced offensive line. They're replacing a lot of those guys with transfers and guys that have been in their system. Doug Meacham, Sonny Cumbie, doing a great job. 3rd year in their system for them, so they're pretty established, and it's going to be our biggest test. And then you can say, well, Dan, you said that last week. Well, Tech was a big test. These guys they're hitting on all cylinders right now, and another top 5 offense. That's going to be extremely challenging. They're more balanced. They're averaging about 200 yards a game rushing. Not only do they run around and throw it a good bit, but they can run the ball as well. Just under 200 a game rushing, but they will call more runs. One thing we didn't really have to worry about last week. Special teams, that's something they pay attention to. Really, the thing that really sticks out is the return aspect of their games. They punt return, kick return. I know Turpin is great. Is he going to be back? Is he not going to be back? I don't know if we totally know the answer to that yet, but they got other guys. Number 10, the white kid, and number 20, the gray kid. Those guys can go as well. They focus a lot on it. They spend a lot of time on it. They're dangerous in the return game. And then the coverage units are excellent. They're fast. They're physical. They get down the field and they cause problems. So we got to continue to improve on special teams. It hasn't lost us a game yet. We're going to continue to focus on it. We need to be solid. Looking forward to a good week's of work. So should be a fun deal. I know everybody's looking forward to it. Sold out game, good quality Big 12 game. 2 quality teams. It's going to be a great atmosphere in Morgantown. So looking forward to Saturday. Got some questions?
Danny, you mentioned their defense is certainly they've been really good for a long time, but their numbers right now aren't as good as they sometimes think. You put your finger on it.
Yeah, just because they're not just totally choking people out, which is what they've done in the past. They've had defenses in the past where they've choked people out. I mean, they've led the nation in defense. I know 2 years ago when they came here, they led pretty much every defensive category that existed. So just because they're not that doesn't mean that they're not good. They're really good. It's the same system. It's the same scheme. Gary's coaching it the same way. They're what they're doing offensively is putting their defense at risk a little bit. That's been an issue. But it looks to me like the players are every bit as good as the ones that have been there in the past. The schemes are good. They're always in position. Based on Gary's track record for coaching guys up during the bye week, I'm expecting those guys to be twice as good as what I seen on film when they played Kansas 2 weeks ago. You get their attention, and they'll come in and they'll be ready to go.
Coach, what are the similarities and maybe even some differences between Hill and Boykin?
Doesn't tuck it and run it as much. I mean, the thing about Boykin is I guess 3 years ago, he was their best receiver. I don't know if Hill would be their best receiver right now, but he looks to throw. He's a pocket guy that can get out and throw it around. He'll do more scrambling to throw it, like Mahomes did, which was something I've never seen before to that extent. Where Boykin would get out there and just go. He could really run, get out in the open and make people look silly like we saw last year.
It's the addition of Hicks to the running game. He's got almost 500 yards this year, 7 touchdowns. Since he adding another dimension to the offense, what he's done.
Yeah, they've had good backs. I mean, the green kid they had last year could take it and go the distance with it. So they've had good quality backs. They're going to get those guys involved. They're handing that thing off over 30 times a game. So you got to account for the run, and they're good. They're good players. The Michigan transfers, a kid out of Virginia is a big kid. You got to pay attention to him as well. So yeah, they're going to run the ball. They focused on that. Meacham was with me there at Oklahoma State for a year. And we ran the ball a good bit. That's always been in his nature to do that. So if the running game's working for them, then they're going to do it a lot. got kind of the same philosophy that we do.
Injuries, especially Justin Crawford and Eddie McCoy, that came out.
We'll see how they do today. They're going to be fine. You know, I think they probably could have went in if we needed them to last week. So, they're going to be sore. Get used to it. It's going to be a long season. Guys are going to get nicked up. You're going to have to rehab it, go out there and play through some soreness. You got to keep practicing to get prepared. Nobody's injured. People are sore.
Talk a little bit about what Rasul does with his what do you think?
A lot. He's brought a lot. I tell you, he's a really confident kid. You know, coming in here last year, he got here late August, so he never really was ready. Having a spring, I think Blue Adams has done a great job with him technique-wise. He's improved every week. He gets out there and he practices hard, and he improves every week. But being able to he's a confident kid. He likes to talk. You know, he's upbeat. He's a great teammate. Has a great time getting out there working hard. He's a hard worker, and he loves to play the game. You know, so his coverage skills have been good. Watching him corner blitz, sacking the quarterback last week was awesome. But he just brings a lot of energy to the sidelines, a lot of leadership. It's been fun watching him develop. So, wish we had him another year.
Dana, what have you told your players based on your experiences with starts in the past? Not maybe let this 5-1 start go to their heads, and are they grounded enough to listen to what you're preaching?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, I don't think anybody truly knows that answer until we go through it. People, and y'all are thinking 2012. I know y'all are. This is a totally different team. There's no similarities between the two teams. So I think this team is a good group of kids that like each other and like playing the game. And they didn't listen when everybody was saying we sucked. And they're not going to listen when everybody's saying we're good. Pretty much as simple as that. So I'm expecting these guys to show up today and be anxious about their preparation and getting ready for a really, really good TCU team. This is our hardest game yet. It's not even close. But the challenges that these guys pose in the three phases of the game, by far and away the hardest game of the year.
Dana, with all the questionable officiating when it comes to the targeting rule, is it about time the college game looks at more of an NBA rule with a flagrant 1, flagrant 2, or maybe the NFL where they have 2 unsportsmanlike where they're ejected out of a ball game? Because some of these times where players are being ejected on hits that may not be as bad as they look.
It's the first time I've thought of it that way, and it makes sense to me because there's times where guys clearly just they target a defenseless player, and you saw it in the game last week. I mean, we're going to coach Maurice up and say, look, when you get in that position right there, you have to move your head to the side. I thought he did a decent job of trying to keep his head up. But when that's right there in your face, you're going to blink, and if you blink, you're going to lower your head just a little bit. And the integrity of the rule, the Big 12 got it right. I don't know how to coach that any different. That was a bang, bang thing where he shot the gap, and boom, the guy was on top of him right now. I didn't think there was anything malicious about what Maurice did. But with that said, I can see how they got there. So maybe they do. Maybe they do need to revisit it. Guys that are truly trying to hurt somebody, I'd throw them out. I would support that. The guys that are just playing ball and not trying to hurt anybody, not trying to cause any harm, that's unfortunate. Because Maurice is a good player, he's a good kid, and we're gonna continue to coach technique the right way. And it's unfortunate we're not going to be able to have him for the first half against TCU.
Coach, your receivers as a whole, do you like how they carved out their roles or their niches through the first half of the season, and that unit, where does it go, during the second half?
They better improve. They ain't anywhere close to being the difference-making unit right now, in my opinion. So they need to improve. Now, I'm happy with to answer your question, I'm happy with them settling into what their roles are. They know what their role is. They need to continue to get better. I thought Keel had a good game. Made a couple of plays. It was great. Blocked good. Cron made some plays. Blocked good. Javon made a couple of plays. Gary went in there, caught a pass. They're nowhere near being a top-notch receiver group at this point. We got a big week ahead.
Can they get
matter
there?
having
Do you
one
think by the, can they get there? Do you think by the?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's to me, the consistency aspect of it is big. They're a little too inconsistent for me right now.
Is it a matter of having one guy that you can count on to get you 5 or 6 catches and yards we had with White or some of those guys in the past?
No, it's not that, because I think we got that. Cron did that.
Yeah.
DeKeel did that. Javon and Shelton continue to be the flashy, inconsistent guys. I'm waiting for somebody to step up and make a real difference. I've seen guys step up and make real differences. I don't see that.
Coach, I know you said yesterday at the teleconference that you would have liked maybe to see a couple teams added to the Big 12. What are your thoughts on the Big 12 staying with that?
That's the only thing that I've known. You play a championship game. That's the only way I've always known it. That's why I've said that. I know that they've tabled expansion, and that's if that's the best thing for the league, then I'm all for it. And I know our presidents and administrators, ADs, Commissioner Bowlesby, I mean, they spend a lot of time on this subject. I worry about my team. They've spent a lot of time on it, and they've came to the conclusion that it's in the Big 12's best interest and the 10 teams' best interest to stay where we're at. So that's what I support.
What do you think of Colton's game at right tackle?
Solid. Really solid. He keeps improving. He's going to be a heck of a player for us. But he was pretty solid. He's got his hands full this week. They got some ends that'll get after him. So I'm anxious to see how he does with that kind of guy.
It also seemed like Grant struggled at one of the guards, and then when he got back in late, he got better. When he felt good.
Grant's been playing better and better. He's our backup interior O-lineman, so we needed to get him in there. And the more he plays, the better he's going to get. I was happy with how he went in there and competed. He's not a starter at this point in time, so he needs to continue to improve, and that's through practice. I thought the last 2 weeks he's done good in practice, so I thought that warranted him going out there and getting some snaps in the game. And thought for what we asked him to do, he did a good job. He needs to keep moving forward.
Being along that line, sort of, because he today used a lot of depth defensively, more so probably than any other game this year. Did you see enough of that you'd like to continue to use those depth guys moving forward?
Yeah, it's going to be important because so many people do the same thing that what Tech did. There's going to be teams moving forward like this bunch that's going to play faster than what Tech did. Baylor and Texas are going to play faster than what Tech did. Missouri snapped the ball 100 times. Tech snapped it 77. TCU is averaging 77, but Texas and Baylor goes up. So we need to keep playing more people. It was hot. We knew that going in. That's why we rotated receiver. There is a plan to rotate all those guys. Just keep rotating them and playing them. And thought they did good. It all depends on how they play. They got to practice well. They got to get ready to go. When you put them in there, it's got to look good. If it does, then we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, you're doing good on third down, but you're staying out on third down a lot. That had too many per game, which is a big difference from the past. What what has that done for just overall performance of your offense?
I don't really focus, I don't view it like that. I mean, we come up with a third down plan, and when it's third down, we do our best to execute it. I would prefer never be in third down. It's just not very realistic. So if it's whatever the third down situation is, we got to have a plan to be able to go out and execute it. I thought we've done a better job of that this year than we have in years past. If we're playing good offense and we're averaging 8.5 yards a play, which is higher than it's been since I've been here, you're not going to be as many third downs.
First week of the season, we were really high with Missouri's pass rush and what they presented defensively on the front. TCU's pass rush comparable. Caraway, Prairie, those seem to be pretty good defensive ends.
I don't know if I want to stop with just Missouri, because Youngstown State had two guys that would be NFL players, and BYU's guys were active, and Kansas State 75 was as good as any of them. So we faced good ones. These guys are like that. You know, they're in the same category as those guys. Those guys can rush. They're long. TCU's always been a big bull rush team as well. It just caves the pocket in, so we're going to have to be strong, play with good pad level. But yeah, it's the same. It's the same type deal as those guys. So yeah, we got our hands full.
And what differences are there for a coach preparing his team if it's 5-0 as compared to say 3-2 or 2-3? I mean, is there something different as a coach has to approach it?
I mean, I don't know what it'd be. We have a routine that we're in. You know, there may be mentality that's a little different. Your guys may be, in a little better mood. Coaches may be in a little better mood. Administration's probably in a little better mood. Fan base probably in a little better mood, probably pretty excited about it. But at the end of the day, it's about your preparation. That's what I told them. I hammered it on Sunday. It's about preparation, you guys. If you want to be, if you like the feeling that you have right now, then you got to prepare. You have to prepare harder this week than you did last week because we play a better opponent. Bottom line. And if you don't prepare, then we're not gonna be in a position to be able to win. And everybody's gonna tell you suck again. Then you're gonna be in a bad mood. It's reality.
Okay, thanks, Coach.